This is a bit cheesy, so I'll scrap this.
Go with cheesy.
Go with you. No, it's like Parmesan cheese, so it's not that good,
Okay, if you,
So yeah.
it's like, Ray, if you could kiss one of the athletes on EVW, who would you kiss?
Your own training routine changed over the last two decades? Like technique wise,
Mhm.
how has that changed for you?
Like the biggest change is probably like 2020, the COVID, because up
Mm,
until then
uh-huh.
I was working and I was training my guys, and that's kind of took all my effort. And I remember like I was training myself and I wasn't going anywhere. I was training really hard. I was doing like a madman, but I was just not progressing because I just think it was too much. And I do believe everything in life is focus. If you can put a focus on
Yeah,
something, you're gonna be good at it. So the COVID happened, and like everything closed up, but we still have a green light to train in the gym. So me and Giannis and some other guys, we would just go and train, and I progressed like never. Because I finally had time to fix all my injuries. There was no competitions for like 6, 7 months or something, and I remember I was just getting better and better and better and better. And then opportunities arose to like first king of the table, and then I went to did arm wars and other stuff, and I was like, oh, like because I was thinking in my mind I'm pretty shitty. Like I'm like I was just honest. I thought like I will never reach that kind of level. And I was like, oh, actually, you can do it when you actually put your mind to it. Because I was like, how am I getting all these guys really good and I can't do it? Because that's the most guys that I coach, that they come in, they don't have to think about anything. They just do the work and then they go home,
yeah.
right? And if for yourself, like I can never kind of turn it off. And then I trained with Giannis for some time. It's very hard to train with Giannis because he's really strong and his angles are really tight. And I just felt like an idiot all the time, and I just couldn't handle it. My arms hurt and everything. So the last, I would say, 2, 3 years, I'm training by myself. And first thing I did was get rid of all the injuries, of all the pains. And now I'm competing. If I'm going in there, I'm like, at least I have no pain, which is incredible for me. I didn't know how it was to live without pain. And it's actually Mindaugas. He came, I think 2021 or something, he came to our gym. We practiced and then we went to sauna. And I remember we're sauna and thinking like, and I was like doing something with my arms, and he was like, what is that? I'm like, oh, it hurts, like hurts all the time. And he was like, it shouldn't hurt. And I was like, yeah, I think you're right. And then I kind of started really to put a pressure on myself to get better and understand a little bit better about injuries and other stuff and how to deal with injuries. And I think right now I'm close to being a black belt of fixing yourself up. I'd shoulder
Fixing
fixing myself. I had shoulder problems. Like I didn't get surgery. I was trying to get surgery. I was trying to get some shots done, some stem cells, everything. I didn't do any of those things. I just figure out what the problem was, looked at it from different angles, and kind of figure out how I can fix
what
it.
what were those angles? Because I mean, I also had a couple issues. I still have an issue, like for example, like this area of
Mhm.
the shoulder, the back of the shoulder, like
Teres
when
major.
doing dumbbell presses or what.
Yeah, teres
For
major.
example,
Yeah.
how do you like what different angles do you look at? How did you discover how to fix those things? What are your like your sources? And I
Mhm.
mean, everybody can Google, right? But
Yeah, yeah.
I'm just curious, like where
Uh,
you
I
what
can
that
tell you,
thought
like,
process is.
my shoulder was a big problem because I I used to bench press, and I used to bench press a lot. And
Mhm.
I think from all that, just my shoulders were stuck in a one position. And then like you kind of overwork it, and then I go and pull, and it kind of gets worse and worse. I remember after 2020, I did like 16 super matches. Next year I did few, and my shoulder was just like getting worse and worse and worse. And it
Getting
just
worse,
was
worse.
like my arm was good, but like this was opening up. Like I couldn't do nothing. Like it just doesn't work there. And the thing that kind of fixed it in the last, I would say 4 or 5 months. I think in November, I was like, oh, like I don't feel it. Like when you go to practice, like or training, and I don't feel it. Um, what I understood is the training that you do will, let's say, bench press, right? It will
Mhm,
create. You will work, let's say, like in a bench press, your elbows at the side, whatever the grip. And I bench very wide. My the 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 range of motion that I'm using is the new range of motion my body is creating. So your shoulder blades doesn't slide fully. Some muscles don't really get engaged. So I just also, this is my belief that life is going to throw things at you and you just have to be
mhm,
smart enough to pick them up. And I saw a video and I was like, I should watch this. And in the video, I forgot what's his name, like a Ryan something, big bodybuilder guy. And he had like a half of a foam roller and he puts it behind his back when he does like any exercises, and I put it, and then you do like dumbbell bench presses or bench press or anything, your shoulder blades just have more room to move. Your shoulders just have
room,
more, like you just achieve new range of motion. And I just started slowly building on it. And it was painful at the beginning, and I was doing like 10 kilos. Now I can do 50 kilos with that, where it's like super range of motion and no problems. My neck used to hurt. I had the forward neck posture. All of that just went away with that. Just by because I like in arm wrestling and in bench press, we put ourselves in those positions where you will create new range of motion for yourself because body adapts.
mm,
It will adapt. But even if it adapts, it doesn't mean it likes it. And then like that was a very big one. The second one is I will aggressively and religiously massage my arms. Like I will now it's actually been like 3 weeks where I didn't have to do anything. So most people will say like their inner elbow hurts and they will
mhm,
make up stuff like it's a tendon, it's medial epicondyles, there's inflammation. All those things could be right, but there's a cause from it. And in arm wrestling, like if you do this or you hold this position with someone, so like imagine how much work goes through that muscle. That muscle gets
mm,
so tight. So how about you try to release that muscle? So the tension from the tendon just goes away. It might hurt at the beginning, but in few like, and it's usually it's like 2 week adjustment period, it gets better. Like I don't have elbow pains. If something comes back, I have to check my triceps or my forearm. If my brachialis doesn't work really good, I have to check my brachialis and brachioradialis muscle. I have to do these. If something feels like weird in my shoulder, it's the posterior delt,
mm.
teres, and sometimes even anterior delt. You just kind of check
And do you
those.
massage those
Yeah.
do you massage your arm, immediately after training, or do you leave
No,
some room, or, like, how?
no, I'll be like, I'll watch TV and I'll just, do some stuff. But I'll be like, okay, I know, let's say Wednesday, because Thursday I'm going to take a day off. I'm going to just rest. On
Mhm,
Friday, I'm going to pull. So I can be pretty good at massaging myself on Wednesday because I'm going to give my body a time to a little bit recover and then goes back.
recover, yeah.
And it's like,
Alright, sweet.
man, like I had my right arm, and I think everyone that follows me knows I had like crazy pain for 10 plus years. It was like when you have tooth pain, like I had that pain
Yeah,
all the time because my ulnar nerve was subluxing and moving on my medial epicondyles. And I really didn't want to do surgery. And then I start thinking like, but why is that? Why is that? Why it's like why it moves here, but then not on this arm? And then
what's
it's
the
just
root cause? Yeah.
it's the tension of the muscles because muscles are strings and they pull. And if they pull, something will go somewhere. How about you start releasing those? And I was like, oh,
Mm,
and this is my this is why I put on multiple videos where I just show how I massage my arms. You take
mhm.
a tennis ball or something, you just do that. People look for surgeries. They're gonna go and do their MRIs, which is most of the time is for nothing, just for nothing. If you really didn't hear any pops or anything, most of the time it's nothing. The doctor cannot tell you anything. How about you start that, massage it, and then
Is
see?
that Do you think that is because of people's laziness to do research, as
I
to speak? As in,
No, because I think it's just association.
because it's
We talk about tendons
yeah,
all the time, so you're gonna blame the
yeah,
tendons. You heard this. Guys will come in. My tendons hurt.
yeah,
I
of course,
can't
yeah.
like, yeah. How, like, what's pulling the tendon is the muscle. You release the
It's the
muscle, you're
muscle.
like, "Oh, shit, everything is fine." Like, today today, I'm training, and, I will have an exercise where I do high cup and, like, static lifts. So I have a multi-spinner
Mhm.
that goes through the top and it goes through here, and I kinda hold it, and I just lift it up, right? I have it on my
Mm.
left arm, like, the weight is really easy. I feel no pressure on my hand. I take the right arm, and I feel crazy pressure on my arm, like crazy pressure. And I thought, like, that's weird. And then I was like, oh, maybe Saturday I had competition. And then I'm thinking, like, what the hell happened? And I remember there was a match where we slipped and the guy really twisted my thumb. And I thought, like, how
Mm.
about I check my thumb? And I put down my thumb, and oh my, like, I can still feel it. It's really tight. And I just spent like 3 minutes of trying to find the spots and kind of just moving around. Get back, no pain. It just goes
Yeah.
away. Because we have to understand it
Mhm.
with arm wrestlers. Whenever you do, when we arm wrestle, even when we grip up, we're already tensing up. All those muscles are just overworked. They nothing has worked more in your body than those muscles. This is why they're
Mm.
so much. And what arm wrestlers are missing is they don't do recovery part, and then they expect they're gonna be fine. They just think like this fine. And then the you know, I'm also very happy I have the herniated disc on my back. And everyone's always says that has back problems. They're like, it was fine. Like, and then I just got injured out of nowhere. I'm like, yeah, it was fine until the point. Like, you just ignored it so much that it was
Ignored it
fine,
so
and then
much,
it breaks.
and
And
then it
that's, yeah, yeah. Because they, I think recovery, the easiest thing you can do is just get the tennis ball once a week. If you have, just
um,
check. Because like
rub it.
here, right here is where most things work when you do your wrist, right?
Yeah.
Just check this. If you find some tender spots, oh, find it. Most people will have, um, like you will have some pain, weird, because the pronator gets really inflamed and can it push on medial nerve and median nerve. So just release pronator. It's really painful. It's hate it. My brachioradialis here on my right arm, like it's in some parts, it was really just like I can't stand it for 10 seconds. Like I can't even put the pressure on for 10 seconds. I just get through it and then and now I can top roll again with my right arm.
It's I had the same issue with supinating,
Mhm,
just twisting and all across this line. Every time I did this, it just
mhm,
hurt like hell.
mhm.
And eventually I went to the physiotherapist and he said it's just the tension. We need to release the
We
tension.
need to release the tension.
Um, and after that, it was fine.
Yeah,
After that, it was fine. I got back the next week. The day after, it got worse for like it was like 1 or 2 days. Everything was tightened up,
yeah.
everything was cramped, and I was
And
like,
then
"What
it
the
just
heck is
went
going
away.
on?"
Just went away.
And then it poof,
Yeah. You know, like
and I
when
yeah,
you have like shoulder problems and then like this is like you will come in, you have to do your external rotations, you have to do all those exercises. As
mhm,
soon as my back got better, I don't even need to warm up. Most like I just don't need to warm up. I can just do this and I feel ready
and you're good.
and I'm good. And I think it's like you will talk with most athletes until they got injured, everything is fine. You just cannot ignore the things that will get you injured. So now I'm just paying a lot of attention of what I'm doing. Like if I had like yesterday I did side pressure, today I did back pressure, but Saturday I pulled. And yesterday I came in and I did my lifts on my side pressure, and my arm was fine, but my shoulder was fine.
Mm.
Like my shoulder was really fine. I was like, okay, that's an indication I need to work more on my shoulder because it just can't handle the tension that my arm is handling, right? So body will give you a lot of
You're
indicators.
you're as strong as your weakest link. That's basically what you're
That's
saying. Yeah,
basically what it is. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
It just
Okay, so
I make
yep.
wrestling into something special. We it is special. It's special for us. It's very special, but it's not.
Mhm. Yeah. I was wondering, what is the biggest lesson coaching others has taught you about yourself as a person? Like coaching other people, what is the biggest lesson you've taken out to that for yourself?
Uh, I think there's a lot of
Maybe.
lessons. I think there's a lot of
Hmm.
lessons. So you want to what you were saying?
No, 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 no. If you have to, like, you can elaborate. If there are
Yeah,
more,
the
there are
thing
more.
is like I can't remember all of them, and I can't like really
Of
like I
course.
think every time you coach someone, you will kind of like oh. like that's why um I always say, if I can, someone new comes into the gym, and like I spend a lot of energy building a lot of new guys that just went away, and I feel a little bit cheated because of it. So I need to see that you're really invested in this before I step on the table with you. I'm kind of a dick now because of it, but I will use someone else. I will have a guy that like has been training for 6, 7 months and a good guy, and I'll be like, you go and you show him the basics. While they do
Mm,
that, they're gonna learn ton of things. They will be like, while they're explaining, they'll be like, oh, then they understand it better when they have to. You like it's a test, and then you have to talk about the test, right? And then
mm,
that's what I have done multiple times myself, and I was like, I think this is a really good idea to do it to others. And then the new guys come in, and the guys that are a little bit seasoned, they will coach them. They will give them like the first introduction on table. And then of course if they're doing something completely wrong, I'll be like, I'll fix it up. Or I'll see they try an arm wrestle and the leg position is completely wrong, and I'll give some pointers there. But I'm giving everyone else an opportunity to learn, and I think teaching is the best way to learn, because then you kind of have
mm.
to. You just can't. You kind of have to. I think sometimes you have to step back and look from outside. You're like, hmm, hmm, and you should listen to what everyone has to say.
That's also the thing that Albert Einstein said. He said, if you fully want to understand something, you have to be able to explain it like you're telling it to a 6-year-old. And
Yes,
then you fully
you have to
grasp.
really
And if you
understand.
can't, you
Yeah.
don't understand the subject enough.
Yeah, yeah,
And
and
you
I
have to
think,
study
like,
more yourself.
if someone knows how to arm wrestle and you give them a chance, "Oh, show this technique," but they will learn a lot more from that than anything else, because then they have to
Hmm.
rationalize the thing that they're doing, you know? And
Yeah.
you can't avoid it, and you're like, "Oh, huh, why?" He's, like, explaining, and then they're like, "I'm not doing this myself," you know?
Yeah.
And then I think there's a
Wait a second.
yeah, there's a good lesson there. But yeah, I'm kinda dick right now, a little bit, because I just need to see
So
you're
yeah.
invested. It's been a heartbreak after a heartbreak, I'll be honest, you know? Because a lot of times you will see someone, like, really good, and then they just don't come back, or,
Uh,
like
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, that's also part of the process, thinning the herd. What does a full week of training currently look for you? So from Monday till Sunday, what do you do right now? What is your regime?
So, right now I have 3 training days. So I try to keep those
Okay.
days as long as I can. I will change some exercises, but I'm gonna give a variation. I'm gonna keep that like so 3 days, and I keep those days for 3 times. So
Like a
let's
3-week wave, you mean?
yeah. So and then I
Okay.
will just vary the reps and sets, and then after 3 weeks I will change some variation. Like I did like
Mm,
let's say riser from the top, I'm gonna do riser from the bottom, right? I did
mm,
multi spinner from the top, I'm gonna do multi spinner from the bottom. It's something like this, right? But it's very easy, and the main core doesn't change. Right now I went back. I was in competition and I lost 2 matches there, and I was like, okay, this gives me something I can work on. I can work on this. So I analyzed what I did wrong and I incorporated those things in my trainings. But it's just 1, 2 exercises, because I want to
yeah,
keep the core as it is, because I feel like, okay, this all is working. I'm really getting the most benefits. Um, it is side pressure day, it's back pressure day, and general training day. So like
okay.
today, like this week, right? We will have a practice on Friday. That is always there. So I'm going to train Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Most of the time, I'll take it off. I'll just do. We're gonna play some squash or something, or I'll just rest.
Sitting at the
Depending.
couch,
Yeah,
massaging the arm, sitting on the
yeah.
couch.
Like it's like I would train, but I really want to be able to, to things that I train on those first days to try to see what happens on Friday, and then
On
Saturday
Friday, fair.
is Saturday. I'm gonna continue with the next day, and then Sunday either I'm training or I'm pulling again. So
Alright.
it's gonna be either 4 of those training sessions and 4 or 5 or 1 or 2 pulling sessions. That's pretty much how I roll all the time.
Depending on how you feel? Depending,
Depending
right?
on sometimes how I feel. Sometimes how I feel. Like if I've
Mm,
really like Friday was really hard pulling and I'm really exhausted, then I go on Saturday and I train and feels like shit. There's no point of me pulling on Sunday because it's same level
yeah.
of, and it's just not gonna work. So I can just go in there and train again and continue training. But most of the time I'm conditioned enough where I can do it. Uh yeah, that's pretty much it. I'll train as much as I can, especially because I know we'll have to go to Vienna and I'm leaving like on 23 of February. And
Mhm.
that will be most of the time. It's very hard for me to go there and just do training. I'll just work, so I won't be able to train. So when I was to USA for the last trip, uh, I did a lot of pulling. I did a lot of pulling in Canada and USA, but I didn't train. I did one training session in like a hotel gym that had one machine there, and that's it. Like I did one training session, and fine. And then I went home, and now I have had like 4 days off since I came back in December. So
And you're like, bam!
yeah, yeah.
Back at it, yeah.
You just keep on building, and then you have to understand that you're gonna relax. If I wouldn't be able to relax, maybe I would take 2 days off in a week, and I don't pull 2 times.
Mm.
But I'm fine. I can still push myself. I can push myself. You can do that.
And what would you say is your favorite, exercise in that regime? What do you most look
Pulling,
forward
pulling,
to?
pulling, pulling.
Just normal pulling, right? Yeah.
Friday and also Sunday. Because Friday I'm gonna pull our gym. It's gonna be Giannis and Tooms and other guys. And then Sunday I will go to Vlad. He lives in a different city, and it's gonna be
Mm.
Krista there and Vlad and some other guys.
And is
It,
there a
it's different.
difference between those 2 days? Is there, like, a difference? Do you pull, like, lighter on the Friday, or is
No,
there, like
no,
it's
no,
like okay.
no, no.
No.
Like no, I
It's
can,
just
I
it's just it's
can,
just
I can pace
yeah.
myself. I can pace myself. Like the only difference is usually, you pull with Giannis on Friday, so you don't have hand on Sunday. You just don't like.
Mm.
We pull because like when you pull with Giannis, even if you get him, he's still like he's relentless. He will never stop trying to take your hand. So my hand is working overtime, and it's multiple times. I was like, oh, like I was like, oh, and then I go there and I can't do the things that I usually does, and I'm like, ah, damn it, you know. But it's fine. It's fine. It's good training.
And how like you said okay for when you have to leave for like East versus West or when you're doing your normal training, how do you change that right before a tournament or a super match? Like how does that look like? You have your normal training week,
Mhm.
your Monday, Tuesday, and Friday, and then Sunday arm wrestle training. How does that change like a week or 2 weeks before or something
And
like that? Do you decrease it a lot, or some people do only stretch bands? So curious what your philosophy is behind that.
um, most of the time we like if you're used to training, you cannot stop training. If you're used to training every
Mhm,
day, you cannot stop training because that's kind of bad. So I will dial down. I will just dial down. Let's say I'm pulling on Saturday, and like in when I went to USA, uh, in the summer, I had one month where I had to pull in Finland, then I pulled in Colorado State, then I pulled in Colorado World's Strongest Arm and Brian Shaw tournament, and then I pulled Colorado State, and then I pulled in MAC tournament. That's 1 month every single week. So my
mm.
my plan was to peak at the end of the month. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna do I'm gonna come into this first super match kind of beat up that was in Finland. And I just took 1 or 2 days off, I think 1 or 2 days off. I came in, we had a good super match there, and then every single like, problem was I did a lot after pulling. I did like 6 hours of after pulling. I
That
remember
always catches you.
yeah, I went to World's Strongest Arm, and I remember I was like, "I'm still freaking sore." Like this is because we did like a lot, like a lot. And after you actually like when you compete, you will always go hard. You will always feel it.
Mm,
And I was like, and then the trip was long, and it was on kind of I think it was a Friday or maybe Thursday because it was weird days there. I think it was a Friday, so the tournament was on Thursday, so it was earlier than anything else. And and I remember, like, I had some battles there. I just had some battles. And then next week I went to Colorado State and I was pretty good. And then I went to Mac and I was probably at my peak. I pulled and it like when I went to Mac in Canada, I trained with Devon up until Thursday was the last day we pulled, and I pulled like for 3 hours. I just pulled 2 hours less with my right arm than with my left. Like that was the only difference. I was like, because I'm fine, because I'm conditioned to do it. Like it's just,
to do it. Yeah,
yeah,
you have to build that up.
yeah.
And how does that change afterwards? So when you peaked, um, do you get right back into training, or do you take, like
Mhm,
you said, you're conditioned to keep training, right?
uh-huh.
But do you how do you ease back into your regime
Uh,
when you get back?
I just as soon as I get back, if I'm not really feeling super crappy, I will just straight away go to the gym. Like it doesn't matter. Like if we land at 5 and I can, 7 I'll be in the gym and I'll just continue where I left off. I'll just continue where I left off, but I'm very aware of the weights. So I'm like, "Oh, like this
Mm,
feels heavy. This feels enough." So just
this is
that's
enough. Yeah.
yeah, because I know like the worst part is usually like the week coming back and getting into routine, and then the second week and then you kind of take off. But first 2 weeks, because like there's no off. Like I will punish. Like
Mm.
I arrive Monday, I train Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. I can't recover by Thursday and Friday. I can't recover, and I go into practice, and we have Raimon Santanovic, and he'll be like, "Why you got so weak?" And I was like, "Just wait a week. Just wait a week."
Let me recover, regain my strength.
Yeah,
I'll
but
show you.
the thing is, like most people there, they're upset about those things because they don't pay attention to themselves. They'll be like, "Well, like, oh, like, why am I so shit?" Like, because you train like an animal for 3 days, and then you
Yeah,
think you can recover. You cannot recover. Like, I have really good conditioning, in my opinion. I cannot recover. So just let it
yeah.
be. I kind of get over this. I don't feel like I don't like to lose, but like I'm very okay with understanding exactly what's going on. You know.
Hmm. Yeah, I've the same. I mean, not I'm not the same thing, but I've it's gotten better. The recovery has gotten better. I've upped my supplements, my food intake, my water intake, and then there's just you can feel tiny bits. Once it's changing, you can feel tiny bits improving. You
Uh-huh.
add a little bit of that and remove a little bit of such, and then it just gets better and better over time for me as well. So I'm wondering about social media impact, because obviously you've built up a large follower base over the past years. Um, you've helped grow arm wrestling through your content. How did you start that journey? So you basically started arm wrestling, and at what point in time did you think, okay, I have to document that, and started the Voice of Arm Wrestling channel?
Mhm. I was always doing like videos, and
Uh-huh.
I had another channel that I wasn't using. Sadly, um, someone hacked it, and we lost the channel. It's Global Arm Wrestling. I had like huge library there with a lot of stuff, a lot of arm wrestling videos that decades ago. And then like in 2018, I think I was just thinking. I was thinking like there was some influencers in Latvia, and I was like, these guys are like they have no idea what they're talking about, but they are so
They're full
confident
of
of what
shit.
they're saying. I'm like, I should do something. Like, I just should do something.
Mm.
And then I think the first I started making videos, and if you go back at the beginning and you look at the videos that were like the first videos,
Uh-huh.
they were individual exercises. Like individual exercise,
Uh-huh.
me explaining the exercise. Because I followed that with free training plan. And I think we started selling training plans 3, 4 years only after that. But we had like a website. The website is not working because I just didn't use it anymore. But I think the plans you can still find somewhere. And it was just like, okay, we're gonna again give you these exercises, and I'm gonna give you the basic training plan. And you guys can start doing the stuff. And then it grew into many things, into interviews, into training, into competitions, into other stuff. Like it wasn't. like it wasn't about me at all. Like I didn't want it to be
Mhm.
about me. I wanted really to be just about arm wrestling. And then of course it kind of changed to that because like for some reason I'm special. So like we'll give you a match and I'll be like, why? Cool, you know. And then I do understand you have to promote yourself. I'm sometimes lazy with
Mhm.
it, but I'm trying my best. And thankfully I have Tina for that. She helps me. But it's just like it's an interesting thing that happened that I didn't expect will happen. It was just like, let's share some information and some love of our sport. Because I was like, who's gonna watch this? And of course it grew, and YouTube is always changing, and I don't know. I don't know. Here we are.
Mm.
You wouldn't talk to me
So what
otherwise.
well, you don't know that. You don't know that. You don't know that.
Maybe,
Eh?
maybe.
Maybe. But I was wondering. Well, so okay, hooking into that, what you just said. For me, it's like a journey because there are so many great arm wrestlers out there. There are great coaches out there. Um, and for me, it's all about learning, following, sharing the journey that I'm going through, and hopefully learning other arm wrestlers with the same questions. Yeah, have my questions answered that they probably also have. And in the meantime, building a community in our country and building a club because arm wrestling isn't that big in the Netherlands yet, but we're growing steadily. So, all
That's
right,
very good. That's very good.
yeah. What advice would you give new athletes trying to grow their presence in the sport? In like,
Right now, social media is it is something. So you should
hmm
involve people in your social media. You don't have to do everything that everyone else does. I think that what most athletes are missing is that mostly people around you are your biggest fans. Mostly people like you don't have
yeah,
to have like this is like when we work with EVW athletes. Like I'm trying to explain to them because they think like everyone needs millions of followers like Devon has, so they're worth something. I'm like, listen, if you have 100 people that really like love you, follow you, and are interested in your journey and your success, and if you can say like I will have a match and you can watch this on pay-per-view, those 100 people buying the pay-per-view is way better than having 10,000 fans that don't know you, that couldn't care less. And we see a lot of times there's a lot of guys in social media that they just have crazy following, but people are not interested in journey. They're not interested in journey
mm,
because also maybe some people don't talk about the stakes. They don't talk about like what is the journey. Like if someone says like I like that's why I was really interested in a kid that challenged me because he wants to do something and
yeah,
and I hope
that's new.
hooked on it. Let's see what he does. Let's see how he does it. And I think it's a really cool story. So my advice is just be yourself, but express what you're trying to achieve, and it's fine to fail. It's fine. All those things is just human things. Sometimes, like I will do post match interviews with athletes, and
Mhm.
I have instances where guys were like crying and they just didn't want to do because it really hurt. And I was like, how about you come and we get this on camera? Just be human. Just show how
The
much it
human show,
that
yeah.
you're heartbroken that you didn't achieve it. And I think that is the part that a lot of people are missing. I know, like myself, I don't really, most of my following comes not from here, from Latvia. It comes from around the world. Because more like
Mhm,
I
mhm.
talk mostly in English and all my posts are in English and everything is. So, but
Yeah.
if I would need to, I can always go and like this is what I'm doing to my own people, and probably then you will have your following. And having 100 people that are really invested in you is way more than 10,000 who just don't give a fucking want to see you do some bicep curls, because that's mostly what is social media, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, you have to find something unique, stay with yourself. That's basically what you're trying to say, right?
Yeah.
And because that's for me. I thought, okay, how do I learn about arm wrestling quickly, or how do I get the best knowledge out there? Is to get it from the best sources, and everybody's doing lifts and explaining, okay, I'm doing this exercise, I'm doing that exercise, but it feels very repetitive, right? You're
Yeah.
seeing all the same shit everywhere. So that's for me when I finally decided. I'm just going to try to interview Todd Hutchings. I interviewed Philip Larson, Gabriela Vasconcelos, and then I found a new type of format with the different questions. And I said, wait a minute, this is sticking. It's interesting to me because I'm learning so much about it.
Mhm.
I've now completely revised my training regime based on what Todd Hutchings is saying. I've seen a massive progress. So that's why I'm continuing this stuff and trying to get all these new sources. I interviewed Luke Polscher, because I wanted to get his perspective in on the referee side of arm wrestling, because I didn't really find that much covered on that topic yet. And everybody's basically busy with exercises, with matches, but nobody is really interested in, okay, what's the whole grand thing about it at the sideline? What does a down ref do? How much is a head ref relying on it? So there's all these dynamic questions that I could ask him. And for you, you're a coach next to a competitor, so I can ask you a whole bunch of different questions,
Mhm.
instead of a person that's only an arm wrestler. So that's what for me gives depth to invite different people on the channel, and gladly gladly they join, because otherwise I would just be sitting here talking to myself.
Well, listen, I think you're doing good stuff, high quality stuff. My advice is just be consistent and
Mhm,
don't get distracted too much. People do get distracted. They're trying to do some other stuff where you shouldn't be doing those stuff. And I think if you're really good at something, you just try to keep on doing that. I'm at fault where I was distracted a few times, and but most of the time, like I said, we are given in this world things that we need or things that we
mhm,
take. You just have to be smart enough to take it. So when you see an opportunity, you will know when to take it. But like, just I like these are great podcasts. Like I saw Todd Hutchings. I haven't seen Luke yet, but like just watching them and just because the questions are human and the questions are
mhm.
very much exactly what happens in arm wrestling, right?
Mm. Yeah, it's not so much as, okay, I'm trying to get somebody on just because they're somebody. I'm trying to get somebody on to actually learn from them, and to get the most value out of that person's knowledge base.
Yep.
I'm glad that shows on my channel. So um, yeah, okay. So what are some of the formats that you've used in the past time, maybe now, that you think that work really well at this moment, and things that don't really work for the community? So let's, for say example, the endlessly posting of doing bicep curls, for example.
Mhm.
It's not really special. That doesn't work, for example. But what do you think does work in this time and age, or what has worked for you? Do you have any
Um,
idea would you like to share, or is that
like
like
it's
maybe a little
very
bit too
easy. Just
difficult question?
Post Devon Larrett, and you will get a ton of views. Like Devon could be doing
Yeah.
nothing, and you're just gonna get views.
Yeah.
Devon could be just sitting there and just with finger up his nose, and people be like, like,
And just
share,
putting the leg up like
yeah,
this in the.
yeah, yeah. S- You know, um, I think for everyone it's a different thing. So now,
Mhm,
like now I'm sharing on my social media is like I thought like I had a lot of good matches like I love those kind of matches, so I should just share those
mhm,
things. So I'm doing my whole brutal series, and I have a bunch of videos there coming. It's a lot of matches I have had like that. But I think for everyone it's a different thing. Whatever is your journey, whatever you think people will relate to, it's great. Um,
just do that.
there's like I said, like it's very easy, I think, just to make something look good and grow following, which doesn't
Mhm,
translate into nothing. Because now, like every other guy has 100,000 followers here and there on TikTok, but they don't translate to nothing. And I think most
mhm.
people, especially the promoters, are catching up because they thought back in the day, 100,000 was like, oh my god, like we get
Oh,
this
wow.
guy
Yeah,
on our card, and he will bring, and then he brings nothing.
yeah.
So it's just better to be yourself and to be real. And like I think human emotions, you just need human emotions. Like this
Mm,
matters, this really matters. Like I think
mhm,
after Mac, because I was like Like I trained really hard my left arm to win that match, and I had a good match, and I'm very happy that I won that match. I think I got a good response from people, and people were like, that I didn't expect, because I think it was just a human thing, very human thing.
Mm,
Yeah, I don't know.
yeah. Yeah, my ambitions are to grow my club. Because right now we have like 30 people in the team. We're looking for our own place to train, so that's pretty difficult. We have to set up a whole new organizational body, which has a lot of complications and with subsidizing stuff and all that type of things that are really really difficult. But it's all good and fun. And hopefully, eventually do something for East versus West as well. That's one of my goals to reach that potential. And but I'm already happy that I got the backstage passes. So that's a start. And now I have to show what I'm worth and make some great content there. So yeah,
Very good, very good. I am media director of EVW, right?
I know, I know,
Yeah, so
I know.
I'll keep an eye on you.
All right, great,
Hey, not in
great.
a good way, not in a good way. Not in a good way.
Oh,
No, no, no.
but
Like, we'll try to help you. Like, we had guys, the Natty Boys in Atlantic City, and
mm-hmm.
we talked a little
Yeah,
bit with them. They asked me like, what kind of things we can do, and I said like, just get things out really quickly, and because we need you to help us during the event, not after the event. After the
yeah.
event, like, fine if you have some stuff, but during the event, like, whatever is fun, whatever you think the people want to
It's
see,
like
just show that. Yeah.
push it out.
Uh,
Yeah, so I did sign a contract that somebody said that I have to it has to be like peer reviewed. It has to be sent in before I can upload it. But I'm not really sure
We'll figure it out.
in the con.
We'll
Okay,
figure it out.
sure.
We'll figure it out.
I'll
No.
just I'll just send you a message. Is what is your proudest competitive moment so far that really comes to your mind? The first thing. Don't think about it. Just the first thing comes to your mind right now.
Probably beating Ryan Bowen, I think. Probably beating Ryan Bowen. I
So
because
okay,
it was just a heavy match. It was just heavy.
yeah.
It was.
Funny thing, I got on the call with him yesterday
Mhm.
and I asked him, what is the single a match in your career you would like to rewrite? And he said your match.
Of
He
course,
said the Coach Ray match.
of course, of course.
So I find it really funny that
Yeah.
you mentioned that that's your proudest moment in competitive arm
Hey,
wrestling so far.
I think it's the
I think
proudest
that's
moment
great.
because I saved the world. I saved the world. It's on that day.
You saved the world.
Yeah, I saved the
You
world
saved the world from Ryan.
from Ryan. Yeah. Man, I actually probably my proudest moment was getting first time I got podium on European Championship. I think first time getting
Uh,
podium there. I did a flip. I did a flip on the stage
did
afterwards.
did you get second? Did you get a vice like the second, or did
Yeah,
you get
yeah, yeah,
what was second? Right? Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, damn, that's crazy. How tough was that for you to accomplish that?
The thing
How
is that
tough
it
was that
wasn't
competition there?
that wasn't like the thing is that wasn't it wasn't tough. Like
It
I was
wasn't.
no, no, because I think I was pretty bad shape, but it was right after COVID, so no one was there. Like and there was a few guys there, but
Ah,
and I felt like it was just Bulgarians that were strong and that's it. And I got next year I think I got bronze, and then last year I
uh,
also got bronze. And probably
mm,
the last year, like I was at my best, and I think it's like I was very happy of what I did. Up until then, I didn't feel like I kind of deserved it, because it's a tournament and sometimes things happen. And it was like maybe I got
yeah.
an easy
It's
way
like,
out of this, but like it's okay, okay. And then there's some super matches where like me pulling Tom Holland was awesome
uh-huh.
match. Like this one of my favorite matches of all time. It's just an absolute brutal war. Um, and then there's more, but I think that's probably what just comes to my
That's
mind.
the
Yeah.
all right.
As an athlete, like I felt very proud. Like last year, and I think I came pretty close actually to. I feel like if I'd done some things differently, I could have had different placing. Because there's some guys
Mm.
that felt more comfortable to me than the other guys. I was like, but
That you beat versus, yeah, all right.
yeah, yeah.
And then what is still on the table? What is still on the table for you? What is something that you're still looking forward to accomplish? May it be as an athlete or in any other way.
Um, it's mostly as an athlete. So right now,
Okay.
I feel like I'm still progressing. I'm building up, um, filling out things that where I'm losing and building up some strengths, building up my weaknesses. Let's say like that. So I still want to be very competitive in either 85 kilo class, and I want to try to get either European or World Championship at WAF. That's still on the plate because probably up until I'm 40, I can still trying to do that, and then we'll see. But
Maybe 60. Maybe
yeah,
60s.
yeah, maybe 60s, probably earlier
I,
than
I, I
that.
told I told Ryan yesterday, like in like 20 years, we have a whole new class. It's called like the older class, like the 60, 70-year-old generation arm wrestlers, and
Uh-huh.
it's going to be even better than the main event for East vs West.
Yeah, that's about right.
I think
About right.
I think people will still pay to see a 70-year-old Devon arm wrestle at the big stage.
Yeah,
Awesome. This is a bit cheesy, so I'll scrap this.
go with cheesy.
Go with you. No, it's like Parmesan cheese, so it's not that good,
Okay,
you
if
know.
you,
So yeah.
it's like Ray, if you could kiss one of the athletes on EVW, who would you kiss?
I know you already have somebody in mind. That's otherwise you wouldn't bring it up.
That is true.
You've thought about it before.
Yeah.
What's your favorite part about guiding others to success? What's the favorite part of that?
Of course, them winning when they win,
Mm.
when they achieve what they put their heart and soul in. Like of course, it's just that. As soon as I see, like, and because if they lose, I lost. They didn't lose. That's how I feel most of the time.
Mm.
Like when we went to Worlds and Europeans, and I was like national coach since 2013 or something. And whenever my guys didn't do well, or like let's say they even got medals but they didn't win, right? I was
Mm.
like I felt it on myself more than anyone else, right? But when they win, like oh, like yeah,
Ah,
we're the top of the
thus
world.
the greater is the victory, right?
Of course. That's why we fight.
Maybe wouldn't you even say it's maybe it's even better to lose the first time around with the people there and then come back to the drawing board and then win the next time. Isn't that even a better feeling than just winning the first time?
It would be most of the time is the opposite. We come first time, we do very well, but it's very hard to sustain it. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, you have some monsters near there. So last question: how do you adapt your style depending on the student's personality or learning type? How do you figure out like what works with what person? Um, Somebody's a quick learner, somebody's a slow learner. How do
Yeah.
you adapt as a coach to that?
Like I'm mostly invested, like really invested on the guys that are going international. If like they're like I'm gonna go like to WAF Worlds, that's the plan, or like that kind of level, because that's a different level of competition compared to anything else where you're gonna be a part of,
Yeah.
right? So most of the time in local competitions, I'm just gonna give them advice and just like this is like take a better grip, don't miss the start and things like this. And then the guys that I know exactly where, like when it's a different level where there's high stakes, then kind of I
Yeah.
just know. Like of course I have tested. I have to be with some guys. You just have to be really nice, and some guys you just don't have to. You have to tell them they're gonna lose. You just gonna have to. Like I've said, I'm like, there's no chance you're gonna do any. I'm like, you're done. You shouldn't even be, and they will do so well, and they know exactly what I'm doing. It just
Mm,
comes to the person, right? But most of the time, like there's a slight manipulation with most people, and I
like how
think
you
it's
welcome.
yeah, like there's been. there's been times where the guys they will not follow the tournament's structure. And I know it just
Mm.
like I can look at it and I know exactly where we are in a bracket and what's happening. And I have to be like, I'm like, listen, you win this, you're gonna go to semifinal. And I was like, and then you will fight for the medals. Like this is happening. But in actuality, that is already semifinal, but they come in,
Ah,
yeah, they
so the
push
pressure
hard.
is less.
The pressure is less, but they push
Ah,
just
yeah,
as hard. They just put even if
just
not
as hard.
harder, but there's less pressure. And sometimes you kind of have to play around with it.
Hmm.
And then like
Yeah.
some people are very anxious. Like Vlad gets sick. Like he has puked multiple times on his way to the stage, on his way to the finals and things like this, because everything is internal. So I have to just on the
Internal.
outside, he's like, everything's fine. And you can see that it's not. So you kind of have to go through some things with him just to calm him down, just to take his mind off, and just we multiple times where we lost in qualification, we have to come back in final. We're gonna watch the tape, and I'll be
Mm.
like this is easy. You're just gonna do this. I was like, can you it's easy. Don't worry about it. I'm worried. I'm super worried. But not like if one is panicking, not then if someone has to be calm. And sometimes when everyone's calm, I'm the one panicking because you have to be.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And I think
You
it's
have
the
to
role
be.
that you play. I used to read a lot of psychology books when I was in
Hmm.
university, just because of this, like sports psychology. And then it said like how you work with the athletes and how you're trying to figure out, because like you can be nice to some people, and some people you just cannot be nice. They just need to hear like rough things, like really, like, because then they kind of wake up. Otherwise, they think everything is fine, and it just with everyone's a little bit different. There's some guys that you can
Uh,
just say a nice thing and they will turn into a monster, right? So, you know,
all right.
yeah.
Yeah. All right. Awesome. Thank you for all the answers you've given me and to taking the time to hop on the channel. Yeah, I can't wait to see you in Vienna and hopefully grip up with you a little bit afterwards. That'd be fun.
We'll do some
And
stuff, man. Thank you.
all
Thank
right.
you for having
Awesome.
me. Thank you. Guys, stay strong and love arm wrestling, yeah?